the all-new Acer Aspire Lite. With up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display. With a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite, with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Swift neo, you feel me. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work out, play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow. Turn it with every tap and glow. Swift neo, that's how we roll.
On stage, vibes up, you feel me.
Swift neo.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast tweet, cool moves, step a pick, we groove, web slit, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes like those big friends laughing, we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Sleek, swift, nail, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know.
Swift Neo. You feel me?
Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow.
Turn it with every tap and glow.
Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
On stage, vibes up, you feel me? Swift Neo.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast tweet, cool moves, snap a pic, we groove, web slit, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes, let those big friends laugh and we click. Follow me, follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Sleek, swift, nail, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Swift Neo,
You feel me?
lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, Swift Neo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers. We are back with another set of lower bracket matches. We witnessed one earlier between Last Hope and Rat Syndicate, where Rat Syndicate got the upper hand and they went ahead and the other team had to bow out. But this time we have a different set of teams, but it's a lower bracket situation, which will mean that one team will go ahead and one team will bow out again. So this is going to be pretty important, and we are here to witness another set of intense Valorant action. My name is Otto. With me, I have Aggressive today. Aggressive, first of all, how are you, my friend?
I'm really excited for this one in particular. That first initial game really was a bit too anticlimactic now, wasn't it? With the first initial one being an FF from Last Hope, and that second one just a show for UV, right? Because UV on that chamber has been absolutely phenomenal. But as we take on today's matchup, so when you look at the overall format here, we need to talk about the journey that the teams had to go through to try and reach this stage one more time, ladies and gentlemen. The open qualifier is absolutely brutal with the amount of teams that were playing for it. Now we're here at the playoffs, the last 2 days of the playoffs, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, because tomorrow and of course the 10th will be the last one, the last chance for two squads to make it over to that grand final stage. And here in the lower brackets, you can tell that every single team is fighting tooth and nail to get to that point, because on the 11th of October the grand finals will be held, and whichever team wins that grand finals will have a one-way ticket straight to the Asia Pacific Predator League, which will be held next year in 2026. Dates and all of the times will of course be updated according to our social media, ladies and gentlemen, and of course Acer social media as well. So make sure to check out the links down below the description if you want to follow us for that. But everything else here, it's been insanity, right? There has been so much strife between both of these squads, especially for Asterisk because of their loss against SATUL yesterday. They are now here to prove that this squad really has what it takes to get to that grand final stage, prove us a once and for all that they're a team and a force to be reckoned with. But at the same time, Gangan Galaxy, their improvements should not be squandered upon, because they are also a team that has proven to us that even though they did lose against GG Easy, they still have a lot more to prove here in this tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, see the way Asterix and Gunman Galaxy, both the teams, made their ways towards Acer Predator League 2026 in the qualifiers. I expected a better performance from both the teams. With the current scenario and the tournaments happening in and around Acer Predator League, we saw how situations where an Asterix being one of the dominant teams out there in the country, showcasing that they are to be taken much more seriously right now, because they beat a team who is much more experienced than them and had much better players, or not really the better word to be used for the players, but at least to be said as that they were much more experienced than the set of players we saw on Asterix's side. Now they have a coach, which is of course Antidote, and we know that after his inclusion the team has obviously improved. But then, with that being said, they still found themselves in a situation where they were again brought to that lower bracket situation with by the similar team, which they are able to beat in the other tournament. But now things have turned into a different situation where now Gungan Galaxy and them will go head to head, and if they do not come out winning, aggressive, they might lose out on the option. Here is the veto up front. You can explain us how is the map scenario going to be for today.
Yeah, the overall veto is just favoring the members of Asterisk once again. Gangan Galaxy, though, on the map of Mine. Now, they have proven to be a force to be reckoned with for this particular map, but then again, Asterisk picking this one up is pretty much poking the bear now, isn't it? Because Gangan Galaxy, they've showcased that this is the map that they're most comfortable upon, so it's quite risky to take a fight like this. But Sunset, another one, not really the best of maps that I have seen, sorry, coming out from Gangan Galaxy. So it's very questionable, this overall map pickup. It's straying a little bit more towards what the members of Asterisk would have wanted. So Asterisk, they're going to be very happy with this overall map selection, because I don't see a world where Gangan Galaxy have a chance here, because if they lose out on Lotus, which is easily their best map pickup, I'm kind of worried of what's going to happen next to them, because Asterisk could just take a landslide victory and 2-0 them before even Bind rolls around.
Mm, that has been the case. When we move on towards the agent selection screen, aggressive, I have a point, which I would want to bring, but then we have to see what agent selections they have gone up or opted for. I see Ginola on that initiator, which he more likely does. I see Vice on Scar, and Gorang has gone again on that controller Omen. So only one controller setup on this map, which is of course going to be a task to control, because it is a bigger map, not like those default maps of Ascent or how we see things on Sunset, which is pretty much easy to control with a single agent. But in this situation, I see both the teams opting for that single controller. Yash has gone for that Raze. We have seen him on Neon multiple times, and Mighty has opted for Neon, which usually more likely works on this map along with that Breach. But Knight Rider, is this his day? Aggressive is what I want to know, because he has been pretty inconsistent with his Breach gameplay. Specifically, the last day when you and me were on desk, Asterisk was brilliant, but Gun and Galaxy, Knight Rider specifically, was better on that day, and he was able to feel better on that Breach selection. And you were and me both were discussing about the fact that today I think he has come up with a better plan, and the executions were looking much better. So I just hope that it's the similar kind of a day, because if it's not, then what you said, aggressive, might just fall into a place.
Yeah, Knight Rider is, again, that win condition for the team. He's such a coin flip as a player, but it has its merits, and of course it has its flaws. You never really know what to expect whenever a team goes that far. But I'm kind of hoping that Knight Rider as a player can really prove himself to be that player that we all needed on that server, because yeah, Mighty has a lot of good performances, but he's going to be just as good as his support player. So if Knight Rider has a good day, then Mighty is going to be able to perform well. And every single one of the players on the side of Asterisk, they need to tremble, and they need to worry about what could be running on towards them. Because don't forget, because of that Neon, Mighty's going to be able to run across a lot of the utility that will be invested to try and put a stop to these heavy rushes. But that's kind of the thing, right? Because even if Mighty is able to get out, the Breach utility timing from Knight Rider needs to be spot on perfect for Mighty to find any form of value as he's running across the fast lane. But then again, I'm kind of confused on what's going to happen next for them as well, because Asterisk as a team, they're going in for a very, like, how do I put it? Well, very basic setup in general, and that basic setup alone cannot really win them out matches. But that basic setup has also proven to be one of their strongest key points, because even if they mess up a little bit, they take one pause and Antidote just reels them back into the place that they need to be on. Adaptability as a team seems to be the strongest point for Asterisk. And if they're this adaptable, then you know that Gangan Galaxy as a squad, they will struggle, because that's the point they're not that good on. They know how to go in for those early hits, but as soon as the mid round comes in, the team tends to lose its direction quickly. But if they can get past that mid round in the late game, you can tell that they can completely change the tides of the battle if they're stuck in a 2v2 or a 2v3 situation.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, this is something which Asterisk would want to fix before things get a little difficult for them, because they still have a chance. This is going to be the last chance, and this is something which is to be taken pretty seriously, because this is the lower bracket game which is going to come up pretty soon on Lotus, the first map which is going to take place there. So now the situation is Gun Galaxy, they are a lot dependent on obviously how few individuals play. Specifically, if I may say, Mighty is going to be a crucial player in this game, right? If he is swinging and if he is feeling confident along with Knight Rider, I feel Gangan Galaxy can pull things back in their favor. The Haunt comes in, and these guys are ready to pull things apart. Gangan Galaxy going up against Asterisk. A side is up for grabs. They had left the side for retake. Asterisk, what is going to be their plan aggressive right now?
That was a very fast one coming in from Gangan Galaxy. knee-deep in enemy territory, forcing them to go in for a full-scale retake. It's going to be Karamal with the first kill. The trades not going in their favor here. Down over to a 2v3 situation as they're running in towards the side now. Kabone does have a flash to set up his teammates, but look at Ganola's positioning. Ganola, he needs to find the perfect timing, but he pulls out the knife in the worst possible second. Ganola! He is going to hate himself for that one. Stun comes across Scar in the perfect and the most optimal of positions, but with the amount of utility being cursed towards him, one by one, they are gonna fall. Scar's gonna be able to find a gut flick over towards the face of Cabone, but little boy gets that kill out regardless. 1-0 as the members of Astra. They take this round, but oh boy, Ganola, he has to be kicking himself for that one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that could have been a big cost for the likes of London Galaxy over there, but then the recovery from Asterix was superb, right? London Galaxy, you know, of course, we said this, that they have to be pretty proactive. Mighty needs to pull things back, but then Ginola, the way things turned out in the last round, that is something which is not recommended at all. Because if certain things, you know, start happening, the confidence is lost, even if you get this winning opportunity. But now, Yash finds Mighty, who's literally sitting behind the Omen, which was little boy.
Yash
Didn't have
just
the HP to
missed
deal
Mighty
with.
by a hair. Wait,
Yeah,
Mighty
exactly.
didn't take any damage. That is gonna hurt them a lot. That's an investment, mind you.
What?
With an outfall that came in. Scar, though, regardless, finds a headshot. This is Scar for you, ladies and gentlemen. He is an absolute demon on this Sheriff. He still, regardless, finds the kill. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Scar single-handedly has been one of those clutch players for the team of Gangan Galaxy. Even in these eco rounds, they cannot be underestimated because of how dangerous they can be. Good pickups though overall as Karamal now on the opposite side of the map, holding from the side of Mound. A little bit risky because he doesn't have his Arcros behind him to get him out of a sticky situation if he does miss his shot. So for Karamal, it's back into the firing range because the first players now coming through for the hit.
Oh no, he messes up his shot. And now this is a big opening. The seaside is up for grabs before the breach comes in. Through waters, he has been smoked out. That is Kibon. The spike will be planted, and this round looks much more easily, you know, convertible for Gangan Galaxy right now. With the retake in hand for Asterix. Little boy doesn't have the HP to work with. With this paranoia work, he has the outlaw with him, but Scar is still there. And as long he is alive, he won't let little boy to do anything over there. It's a 4v2 retake happening in favor of Gangan Galaxy right now. But yeah, he finds it difficult, but he manages to take down Knight Rider, but go around, trades him. Kibon is still alive. He needs to take down two, but Ginola there finishes things off. And here you go, we have the 1-1 equalizer coming pretty quickly from Gangan Galaxy.
This was just so unnecessary from Karamal. He doesn't even have his Arcro set up right behind him. This is one of the main reasons why, even when you're playing a Vice, if you want to play aggressive as a Sentinel, that's completely fine, but where's your Arcros? Because at least if you had the Arcros behind you, even if you missed out on that shot, you could have immediately ducked behind Mound, utilize the Arcro's ability to flash your opponents while you're still fighting. You'd still be able to take that duel. This risky play is going to hurt them quite a bit here. Beautiful shot coming in from Yash. The trades are still going in the favor of the defenders. Perfectly played out timing. Garong's going to be able to find that kill immediately. Gonna need to try and run this one away. Spike gets picked up. For now, Gangan Galaxy forced on over to a halt. Weapons yet to be retrieved as Karamo. It's going to be the one in towards the back lines here. Just to try and find the shot, but he's not going to be able to do so. Angle's just not really his. It's Knight Rider. He's also stuck. He can't really run away from this fight. Go towards the seaside. But Karamal, he sniffs it out. He probably figures out that at least two more players are going to be pushing him here. There's no way he can take that fight from that angle. Wasting utility and just forcing them back out of here. Karamal opting for a full-scale rotation all the way from spawn, trying to go towards the A side. And Little Boy with just a classic needs to become the big boy here if he wants to hold on to this side.
I think his position is going to be expected. Okay, Knight Rider knows, but the Prowler comes in, but it is of no help. Paranoia being connected now. The problem is too many dark covers being placed right now, and the three players they want to jump in together. Do not want to take the isolated horizon. He comes around and he takes the players down with 2 right clicks, and Lil Boy just cleans things up onto Scar, and they have pulled out a shocker of a round. Asterix with those classics in hand. Brilliantly done. Firstly, they thought that this is going to be a fast execution coming in from Gungan Galaxy, and towards that A side, they made their move. They made sure that they have the numbers game. There were 4 players standing there, and they fought hard where they managed to get 2 picks, and they lost only 2. So the numbers was there. And always with the positionings and those proactiveness, Asterix has always been that team, right aggressive. And now Lil Boy, he has made his move towards Rubble. The side control is not going to be easy. This time it looks like a C approach. Caramel, I haven't seen him on this agent, right? Whenever we have seen Corrode, it is the other man who plays the Vice, and he is on that Viper, but now he is on that agent. Let's see how he controls the C-side aggressive. It's going to be a fast execution coming in. Okay, the Paranoia didn't connect. Mighty is in. Caramel finds it easily, but there's a player right-hand side. He's blinded. The blind comes in at the correct time. Caramel finds him as well. The Steel Garden being committed. A lot of utilities being used by Gungan Galaxy to help them, but then that should have been earlier, not now. Because your number advantage has been released. The aftershock is too much to deal with for Scar. Now, in this situation, it's Lil Boy who finishes things up.
It's gonna be the speed of the finish that you kind of expected, but this was a flawless coming in from the members of Gungan Galaxy. Not a single player on their side took a single point of damage. The utility investments were just pinpoint perfect. This is what I kind of knew was gonna happen as soon as Asterix picked up on the map of Lotus. Arguably, yeah, Gungan Galaxy, this is their better map, I would say, because they've picked this map out every single time up against every other team that they have met. And I'm pretty sure that Asterix, they knew this. And that's why this pickup came in first. Beating your opponents in one of their best maps is what this team does best. And you can see exactly why the coordination, especially when it comes down to the utility, is just so difficult to beat unless you do have the same level of coordination on your side. Information, though, denied a lot by the attackers in this fight. Little Boy needs to be careful of how much he's trying to get away with here. Playing it risky, but even then, those risks have paid off. He has ample amounts of info towards the C side. No one's really trying to fight him at all. And with all of the members of Gungan Galaxy heading towards A, and as soon as this mid door gets broken, the showstopper is going to come out, and Yash, he's just going to run people down.
No. The right side is not being cleared. Oh, and Caramel finds him. The Prowler usage, the utility usage has not been that good from Gungan Galaxy's side. The corners. The spot was not checked because of which. Aggressive. I mean, Gungan Galaxy has again found themselves on a shell where you're not thinking, and if you're not thinking, specifically in a game like Valorant, you need to be pretty tactically strong. Your aim game is something which can save you to a 40% or 30%, but the rest 60% needs to be tactical, and that is something which you need to be pretty focused and accurate about, because if you're not, then as a team you're just wanting to be punished for. But okay, everybody wanted to ring the bell, and that is something Gungan Galaxy should know now. If they're not careful about this, might just end pretty badly for them.
Gotta love it when you see it. A little bit of a pause taken and everyone's just ringing the bell, be like, "Ref! I don't want to hear it anymore. Make the sound ring. We are ready." Immediately start things off. Asterix now taking a little bit of a break here with all of their players just being in that perfect zone and in that perfect moment. We're going to be jumping into the game almost immediately, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it's going to take us that long to get ourselves back in, but honestly, these last couple of rounds have just really been a show to watch because the way that Asterix have been playing, they haven't really skipped a single beat when it comes down to the utility usage. On the opposite side, Knight Rider and Mighty, they just haven't really been able to coordinate with one another. That lack of coordination is just seemingly bleeding through now with Yash just finding so much value on his own, and in some cases having Risen give him that utility that is required to try and survive. Unless we see the same coming in from Gangan Galaxy soon, these rounds being lost is just, it's gonna start piling up until we look at the double digits and possible 11-1 scoreline. Things can get out of control very quickly in this particular game, and on the map of Vine, ultimates are a very easy way of taking around victories.
I mean, they have the luxury to play this round on a retake. Look at the ultimates they have. They have the Rolling Thunder, they have the Seal Garden, they have the Nightfall. Now the From the Shadows, because Lil Boy converted Gorang as well. Reason there. Finds Mighty. They don't need to commit those ultimates. They can save it for the other round. And as you said, this round can become comfortably converted by Asterix. Ginola is just wanting Yash to find him, and that was the case over there. Star position is revealed. Caramel finds it pretty easily. Fifth round coming quickly for Asterix. Only the showstopper for Yash isn't active. The rest of the whole team has the ultimates. This is going to be pretty difficult for Gun Galaxy to deal with, but they have their Rolling Thunder as well. But Knight Rider once again has found himself to be in a spot of bother aggressive, and this has been a real big problem for Team Gun Galaxy. And I think the other day when he was performing well, you said that these are those moments where he performs well, but then when things matter like it is today, because this is the lower bracket game and it's a must win, he needs to perform, and they need to win this first map because Lotus is their pick.
No, Lotus is Asterisk's pick.
Oh, actually,
but Lotus is Lotus is still a pretty strong map for them. That's kind of what I was trying to hint towards. But Asterisk are just way better on this map, it seems, or they have done their homework to try and beat Gangan Galaxy here, because this is honestly their first choice of a map pickup in comparison to something like Sunset. So Ramo now, he's gonna be the first one to take a fight. A slight bit risky, does have the Steel Garden to give them an easy way to hold on to this side if anything does go wrong. Ramo not pressing the button here. One more player is already spotted. Ramo still alive and kicking with Risen, to hold on to the side with him. None the wiser, players are just gonna keep on falling. Yash trying to beat the timing to maybe find one kill, and the player trying to rotate here. They're maybe selling this fake with Knight Rider on a breach being on the opposite side of the map. It's a bit risky because you don't really have anyone near you to try and help you out. What's the game plan here for Gangan Galaxy? Because they're just running into the firing line. 6-1, they're bleeding out rounds. And their economy is not looking any good either.
True. Still have the Steel Guard and the Rolling Thunder. I mean, I don't understand this fact that why is Knight Rider on the breach trying to make a lurk, right? Where it should be the Vice. I mean, this is something pretty questionable, which Gun Galaxy and the players can only answer. But whatever they have tried to do haven't really paid off. I mean, he has the Rolling Thunder, which can be used to gain control, but then okay, Mighty, he needs help, and Knight Rider needs to give him support now. The Vice Wall will slow things down pretty easily. It's not going to be an easy entry now. These guys can still make a movement towards C, but the rotations have come through Waterfall. Caramel is playing close towards the boxes and might be waiting for Knight Rider for the fault line to come in, and then those entries we will see the flourish. Maybe the Rolling Thunder can be used now, but we'll see. Okay, he's wanting to use the Rolling Thunder. Is he? He has not used, but Caramel finds both of them, and they're stuck there. Caramel gets one more. Roman TPs, but then Keyboards that find him towards the sandbag area. But now, its scoreline says 7-1, and you don't want to see a swap with a scoreline of 10-2 or 11-1. You need rounds, right? Aggressive.
Yeah. The rounds are just building up one after the next. For Asterisk, another day in the office for them. They are a grand final caliber team for a reason. They're putting in the hours, they're putting in the practice, and they're making sure that this squad is recognized to be the best in the entire country. And they want to represent their own country too, right? In that grand stage, in the stage on the Asia Pacific League. For now, it seems as though they're just gonna run across this entire fight for free. Cabon's just gonna keep on bodying down players constantly with Yash just right behind him to go in for that same level of pressure as members of Asterisk. Even though Kangan Galaxy had all 5 members up and ready in arms to try and take this fight, the level of utility that was invested by Asterisk here and the way that they were able to aim, you could tell that the squad just was undazed by anything that was thrown towards them. Cool, calm, and collected like a cucumber here are the members of Asterisk, taking 8-1 on the scorecards for them. The Kangan Galaxy, they need an answer soon because this round is all but over. Half is all but over, with Mighty going 0-9. He's found almost no value on this Neon, and that's tough to watch.
True. And I already said the fact that if Mighty isn't, able to find those value, it's going to be very difficult for Gun Galaxy to get the space. But Lee Boy, oh no, the dark cover came in right at the moment when Lee Boy found that man. And Knight Rider is out. The Rolling Thunder is out now. They still have the from the Shadows and the Steel Garden and also the Nightfall. The utility usage has been off. We have been saying that, but then the ultimates are there for a while now, and they should use it for a better cause. I feel waiting. Oh no! Paranoia comes in. Looks like a setup. The Omen is ready. Lil Boy was there. Ryzen finds one more. Until Gorang finds one, the numbers are down to only 2. And they have the advantage. Pain Shields, Aftershock, Paranoia, everything is there. And it's just getting frustrating to watch right now. Now it's going to be a 1v2 situation for this man Scar. He recovers the spike though. Positioning is known. It is going towards this side. And now, if he plants a spike, he has a Steel Garden. I think he's overthinking too much. He should go for the plant. He hasn't planted it. He doesn't have the time. He needs to. Oh no, he misses. He misses the Razor Vine over there. No, he's just playing the mind games. And
Okay,
right,
listen.
just comes jumping in left and right using the A and D key. Just shotties him on his face and gets the 9th round for Asterix. This is what has been happening. This just sums up the mental situation for Gun Galaxy. They have been thinking too much, where things should have been pretty simple. If you have the abilities, just go in for the fast A execution. You have the Steel Garden and the Nightfall. What will happen? Commit bodies. You just play on trades. You will find those values. Is what I'm trying to say here, aggressive, which is not has been happening.
Just been another one of those situations as Yash once again just immediately drops the body down onto the floor. Remember what I said, Valorant is a very momentum heavy game. It was a 5-1 before this. I'm pretty sure we recall it right. From a 5-1 all the way now down to a possible 10-1 here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not looking that good for them as Mighty still needs to open his kill book. I've never seen Mighty go down this far. Yash with a double kill. This outlaw in his hands is even more potent than an operator in any given opportunity. He's looking for another fight. Gurong around the corner. They're looking for the kills, but they're just not going to be able to fight it just yet. Clear it towards the back lines. They instantly hunt down these players. They're like rabid wolves just sniffing out their prey. Corralling them into a corner, sending them into a frenzy here. They smell blood in the waters.
Yeah.
These sharks from Astra, they're hungry. This one more round of regulation here for this. They'll have another curse to try and give the members of LAN Galaxy that second win, or have a saving grace at least to just hold on to, because for their team now, feels as though they're just done. Cramel's gonna be the first one to step onto the table, knee deep in enemy territory, close for the fight. Are they gonna clear him? Yes, they are, but still, Cramel finds a kill in the process. Little boy's gonna be able to shut down another one. Yash in a different position, has the outlaw in hand. Immediately going for a swing. That's gonna be the shorty being utilized to go in for another kill, and it's all up to Ganola now. This is what you wanna see, but Ganola deals the damage and the showstopper to finish things off. Now that's the way to end the party here for this first initial half, 11-1. Asterisk, they look like a landslide just sweeping across the fields of Gangan Galaxy.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true aggressive. Ganola did manage to find, but then he was the only man surviving. Is the problem. Whenever they try to do things correctly, something happens and it doesn't fall in their favor. And as you said, it's a momentum heavy game. Whoever has it, just capitalizes and just builds on it. But in the meanwhile, I think this can be game point for Asterisk. Okay, little boy, mighty this time, but he's blinded. He doesn't know. He have no clue what's gonna happen. He just had to fall back. Poor Mighty. He went in with a motive, but Scar will be cleared. This time, mistakes not made. It's on to half HP now. This man is gonna struggle. Now they have moved towards Link now, and from Link they have gone towards site B, wanting to plant there. This is a good move. They have that site in control. They have an open plant that too. Yash finds Scar, who's already taken down to half. Gonna be a lot more than difficult now. Prowlers finds Mighty over there. There's a flank coming in from the Vice. Ryzen is playing close. Mighty gets one. Ganola trades up. Knight Rider gets one more. But then the flanker, and he's spotted of course, and Knight Rider finds the value onto Caramel. This time, make no mistake, Gangan Galaxy was better looking.
That is a rough one at that, ladies and gentlemen. Not really the best of spots that you can go for that easily. And looking at the way that members of Asterisk have really tried to go in for the turnaround of point here, it's not looking that clean for them. That post-line positioning was just a slight bit more rough than what you would have expected. For now, we're just gonna need to wait and see of what they want to do next. Asterisk. Started things off on the wrong foot, but that doesn't mean that they can't turn this eco around as well. But for Gangan Galaxy, that's a saving grace that they needed. Take one more round for yourself. Just showcase to us that you're not yet ready to give up. Knight Rider, he needs to be careful because Yash can still always be a problem, but when he has something even remotely close to an operator in his hands, that's when Knight Rider as a player really just comes alive. He can't really do stuff like this when he's on that breach, but sometimes in eco rounds like this, that's the boon that you want to have.
Nola's waiting, the horn. Has the Ares in his hand, he doesn't have the HP to work with though. But, of course, being stunned is not a pretty sign, of course. Finds it difficult to take that man, but still they have the numbers advantage going in. Asterix. Okay. Wanted to create value over there. He's blinded now. No, Scar. He's gone. The paranoia was connected, but Knight Rider, goodness me, he got two. Keyborn and Ryzen falls. Like matchstick over there. Knight Rider is waiting for little boy to come in, but the right click was better. Now he will have that outlaw for his support. He can go in for that plant. The spike is far away. He needs. Oh no, he doesn't have the time. He doesn't have the time, of course. And Gorang will find him. The third round being converted, so we have to wait till Asterisk finds that one round before they, can say that it's map point.
I'm kind of surprised that Gorong dropped the outlaw there to just pick up a guardian in his hand. Nah, that was a Guardian. Don't know why he did pick that one up, because that Outlaw, even though it's like not as strong as a weapon for those proximity fights, but one Outlaw can just really change the tides of any particular defensive half. Because that weapon just allows you to have the perfect strengths of an operator in a very bite-sized package. Only Mighty, he's gonna be the one to perform, but immediately gets caught out by a headshot though. Never mind. Beautiful first couple of shots already coming through. Mighty really hasn't been having the best of performance in this particular game. He's been getting caught off guard a little bit too often. Having an off day, especially when it's a lower bracket run, it's not something that you want to see. But for now, on this 11-3 scoreline, they're going to need to keep on building up and up and up from this. Karamo looking for the engagement on his own accord here, but he's just stuck a little bit on what to do next. Different openers have been found. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Players now running across. It's going to be Scar to try and go in for the kill. Paranoia perfectly utilized to keep his players alive. Around the corner, it's going to be Little Boy jumping across. Knight Rider none the wiser. The Arcros giving the space that they need. And this is AST for you, ladies and gentlemen. They now have a free plan to work for. And their players are just waiting to do whatever the hell they want. They have ample amounts of time to just keep the defenders guessing on what their next move is going to look like. But Can Galaxy, I don't think they have a move to try and get themselves back in towards this round. The weapons not in their favor, and Little Boy, knowing him, he's gunning for more victories.
The match point comes in not pretty quickly, but then they did not let Gun Galaxy to get too many rounds though. They only lost, 2 rounds after the swap happened, but that's okay. Now, thing is, they only have 1 round to get, and Gun Galaxy, what can they do? Can they, make Asterisk work for this 1 round? Yes, they can do that, because if they let this easily happen, now going into Sunset, they would not want that momentum in Asterisk's favor. They would want something pulled back and at least some positives to go with, because Asterisk is not going to make this easy, right? Now, the thing is, Yash, almost. Gorang found him on his free fire. The vice wall there. Scar has repositioned himself towards the boxes. But they are rotating back. Wait, they haven't decided yet. Okay, no, they are rotating back. A few players again changed their courses, but then now they're finally going towards A, where the Fade and Knight Rider is going to wait. Caramel has been left out for that lurk. If he finds value, it's going to be pretty much done for Gun Galaxy. Scar has been left out, but Ginola is playing solo towards Tree. Nobody commits yet. Again, they're going back towards C. This is going to be a constant back and forth happening towards his rotation side, on the side. Now, Scar's position has been spotted. The stun finds him. Caramel is just waiting. The Arc Rose being used, but then no value whatsoever. Gorang is here. Gorang is going to wait. Gorang's position is revealed. He's stuck in the dark cover with half kind of a vision. Steel Garden being committed there. Players anyways don't have the good weaponries. They have those sheriffs. Things getting slowed now. Aggressive. Looks like a hard retake for them.
He looks away.
Scar.
They're gonna be able to find one, but they immediately do fall one by one. The players just don't really have much to give in towards a round like this. Rolling Thunder just came online, but it was a little bit too little too late, ladies and gentlemen. The members of Asterisk, they were a landslide indeed, just breezing across their opposition, and the poor old guys of Gang Galaxy, they tried their hearts out, but it was just not enough. You can try as much as you want, but honestly, it won't matter at the end of the day if you're just not able to find that perfect synergy for yourself. And in that sense, ladies and gentlemen, Gang Galaxy are just... I don't know how they're going to be able to do it on the map of Sunset either. Yeah, this is that's going to be their own home pickup. But I'm a little bit worried because I've seen this historically as well that Kanye Galaxy, they also struggle a little bit more on that particular map. Maybe they have a completely different setup that they want to show us with Chamber coming out, because Chamber is a very strong and powerful pickup now on that particular map. But
True.
until I see something like that, I do not know how they're going to be able to take this one.
Absolutely aggressive. I mean, they have to be pretty, brilliant. Usually we have seen Asterisks dropping their first map and then pulling things back from the second and third map. Not talking about Acer Predator League 2026, the India Qualifiers, which is happening right now, because that has not happened yet. Asterisks has won one match, and which was pretty convincingly. They lost to SA12, because of which they had to fall back to this lower bracket game, and which this is a must-win game for both the teams. Now Garden Galaxy in a spot of bother, because in the best of three series they have lost the first map, and Sunset, going into Sunset, which is not their pick, of course, but then they're not. That is not their worst of the maps, as aggressive you pointed out. So this is something which Gun Galaxy needs to be pretty, focused about. This is something we have seen in the past where Gun Galaxy have struggled with Knight Rider, and we did mention that early on in the game when this map came up, and we specifically mentioned that role and the name. And again, that man was struggling, and also with that, I even specifically said that Mighty, he's going to be holding a key role. If that man is also not firing, it's just all over the place for Gun Galaxy, because the whole team was looking pretty off.
Absolutely. All of them was just doing, how do I put it, a very questionable sense in the way that they were trying to take fights. And at the end of the day, here at the Acer Predator League, it's just, I don't know. As a team, they're just showcasing too many different flaws to really take out the grades of this
Yeah.
level. The team just hasn't really been playing together as much as you would have expected, because the Gangan Galaxy that I know and love, they know how to perform. They know how to really take over any particular game being given to them. It's a pretty rough showing, but it's kind of understandable too, because they are going up against another team that has really just drilled and practiced every single goddamn day. I'm pretty sure that knowing Asterisk, they do at least 6 hours worth of scrims every single day. And when a team practices this much together as a squad, the fruits of their labor, sorry, will be pretty
Yeah,
much
true.
apparent. All of them are sitting inside of the boot camp. They have an incredible coach. They put in the hours, and you can see that in their gameplay, the way that they're going in for 3-1 peaks. They're not really overcommitting to a lot of those fights. Yeah, in some situations they need to be reined in, right? Where Karamel's just gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna single-handedly kill every single one of these players. I'm gonna peek out a
Yeah.
mound as a vice, not gonna have my arc crows ready, and I'm gonna shut everyone down. But that's just like one of those situations, right? Because as soon as
True.
Kurama loses one fight, he immediately dips out and he doesn't go back there again. The level of adaptability showcased by every single one of these players, it's just insane to me. And then there is Cabone. I think he's just one of those unsung heroes that we don't talk about too, right? He's a support player, but the
Mm.
fact that he supports his team so well is one of the main reasons why, sorry, Yash is able to perform on this caliber. 21-8 to his name with 4 first kills and a 350 ACS. He's an absolute prodigy for a reason.
Yeah, the only guy who, I mean, not the only guy. I mean, the two people who could top frag, from Gun Galaxy's end, were with only 10 kills. So you can just understand that with 10 kills only, you can just end up with 3 or 4 rounds at max, which is, what we saw. But then the most valuable player of the last map of Lotus is Yash, and he was superb on that raise with the boombot. He was able to find value, not value as in I'm saying information, which is what that thing can be used as. Along with that, pension placement and also the showstopper is something which he used to his advantage, and to create space is what is expected of a raise. And whenever you see raise, we see a fade coming in, and that is something can be used as a combination play, and they also had that combination going on. So that is something which was taken care of. So pretty, default Valorant action played on Lotus. The team who made the less amount of mistakes did, win, of course, which is Asterix. And now we have to go up and see what happens Sunset. But before that, we will have to take a short breather, and we will come back with the second map live.
we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers. That first initial game left a lot to be desired for the side of Gan Galaxy. And honestly speaking, I'm a little bit sad in the way that the performance did go out from them, because
Yeah.
Gan Galaxy just kind of dropped the ball in more ways than one. And I do understand that was not their map pickup, but historically, Asterisk, if they win that first map, they will goddamn sure win the second one, because they have not yet lost a series where they have won that first initial map. But where Asterisk have lost that first initial one, that's where they do tend to struggle in map number 2 as well, fighting tooth and
True.
nail to try and take that victory, where they take that land sweep of a victory when they go to that third map. It seems as though the player pictures are going to be coming in instead for this one. But overall, I'm a little bit surprised in one regard, because Sunset as a map really does come down to the overall play style that they tend to go for, right? Because
Mhm.
there's been a lot of different situations where I do believe that, especially think about it in this sense, right? That the map of Lotus on one side is very centric upon the fact that, hey, you need to have good control of the different portions of the map, and you need to
Yeah.
play a tug and
Yeah.
pull against the attackers to really find
True.
value. But
Mhm.
here on Sunset, it's a completely different story, because
Yeah.
Sunset is not about playing that tug and pull. It's more about understanding how to establish that early map control and then slowly backing off from it as a defender, because you know for a fact that your opponents will now be paranoid of how deep you're pushed in. And because of how small this map is generally,
Mhm.
not a lot of teams just try to full send it on any of the sides when they're on the attack, because they are forced to play slow because of how many different angles the defenders can try and occupy. And in that sense, the change in the overall strategy needs to come in soon, because the way that Sunset has to be played is not really in the favor of Gan Galaxy, but at the same time, I do believe that both sides, they're going to be running the exact same composition without any form of disparity.
Absolutely aggressive. In the meanwhile, we have already seen the agent selection screen, and which has been already locked. Oh goodness me! And I think the match has already started as well. I think Mighty got stuck and pinned by the camera over there. Asterix at this point of time, they have started on the attacker's half. Non-Galaxy, they need to be pretty accurate on this half, otherwise we know what Asterix can do, specifically with the kind of setup they have. They have double initiator composition, so a lot of information they want to play on, because they would expect, but this time Scar, he gets the second one on keyboard as well. Recon dart reveals Risen's position, and not find the third one as well. Will he find the fourth is the question. He finds the fourth. This is an option. This is a chance for him to convert an ace. Gun Galaxy and Scar have started brilliantly on this map, where Scar once again becomes the man. They're making things happen, and Caramel finds Genola over there. Now, will he go for an ace, or this is going to be something which Caramel... Oh, Caramel! Goodness me! Caramel got both of them, Scar and Knight Rider. You know, you would just hope that if, as a player, you know, you would not want to take a 1v1 duel with, and that's Caramel from Asterix. His aim game is insane, right? Aggressive. He just showcased a teaser of what he can do.
For you as a player, right? When you even as an actor for any particular side, or even as that primary, secondary entry, Gravel's just aim is just beyond comprehension. The guy put in the hours for it, and I still remember when he was playing for another little bit of a smaller team before Asterisk. And of course, when he was having his run on the other bigger tournaments that were having for Valorant, his aim was on a big point of contention, being on that much more supportive role. You can tell that Karamal as a player just really was put on center stage for a lot of those fights. And when you have a cracked sentinel like him, you always do know that your team's gonna have that backbone to play for, but in this particular round, the weaker weapons is going to be a little bit of a problem for them, as the members of Asterisk running forward. Wait a minute, never mind, the weapons are not weak. I take it all back, because Yash. instant comes in for the headshot. They're going to be able to find that shot already. And now Yash is now looking for a bit more forward-sided approach. They do get the plan down at the bare minimum. Paranoia is in hand to try and deal some damage. Wait a minute, where are you looking, Ganola? They do fall. Mighty up and running for the close quarters fight. His position already revealed. They're going to spam in towards him. They're going to make him fall. 1-to-1 on the scorecards. There's Asterisk. They just bum rush their way in towards the side off of 1 kill. Where are your members to try and support this Cypher? Gang Galaxy, this was just very poorly planned out.
Yeah, I think premeditated few things and which did not go in their favor, which is why this happened. And Asterix on that round pretty easily converted a thrifty. Of course, not easily though. It was smartly planned out round which they managed to execute, and they have been superb on the aim game. Not only Caramel, everyone has been hitting their shots. This is going to be interesting to watch, where this team is not going to have that weaponry to go with. Okay, Ryzen just wanting to tease a bit. Ryzen did not fall for that bait. He just wanted to get the information which he has now. Now they would want to go towards this side. They have a Sova. This is going to be a little difficult with this Reach and the Sova and the Cypher to deal with. Inola goes in. Scar finds one. Inola's position has to be good, but he could have done better. He did manage to hit the first shot. If he would have somehow managed to take the Cypher down, it would have been much more easier. But Reboy finds Mighty and just makes it easier for Astrish to go up 2-1. Now, Gun Galaxy, how do they think from here? This is going to be the first full buy round which Gun Galaxy would get, and this is going to be something which I would want to see, because this will decide the tone of the game, right? Aggressive. If this is something where again we see Gun Galaxy just slacking and not being proactive, where they're just letting Asterix to fill in and just slam in towards that B side, because that is what they are going to do. This is going to be a fast execute. This is going to come in. Mighty has pushed in. The paranoia is there. The position is being revealed. It's not going to get so easy. The support coming in. Mighty doesn't have support. He need not go in so aggressive. When something is expected, the information is there. This could have been a surprise attack, but this comes in. With this, you already have the numbers game. One thing is there. The Sova and the Breach playing together. Is this something which you recommended aggressive?
This is gonna be a little bit of an issue. Their positioning is just all over the place. Having both of your initiators on one particular side, yeah, it gives you that extra little bit of utility to really hold on to any side push that's coming in. But it's not gonna be as simple as you would have hoped for, especially with the Cypher now tipping his hat to say good morning to you all. The map is now theirs. They already know the positions. Garong in a little bit of a dicey situation. He's going to be able to use his teleport, the shrouded step, to get inside of the side. Still, the problems have arisen. Scar is going to be good for one more kill. They need to instantly make a run for it here towards the side of the defender spawn. Kibone's going to be able to find one kill. Position's perfect. And wait a minute, Asterisk, they turned this entire round on its head, even though Yash lost his life. But this momentary mid-round play, the call was so immaculate. The fact that they pushed in towards the side of mid this quickly, they're going to be able to get the plant down over to the opposite side of the map as well. Gravel's going to be able to find the last, and Scar, even though he found a phenomenal kill, even though Garong went in for the teleport, the fact that none of the members of Gang Galaxy expected them to push into the side of Connector like that and to full force it onto mid, this was brilliant coming in from the members of Asterisk.
Yeah,
look at Canola, the poor guy was none the wiser for this play.
And also the fact that the neural theft was used, right, aggressive. So the information was revealed that they are going to push towards that angle. So the Breach, who was pushing through that dark... little technical pause. You guys are watching Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers. This is the lower bracket matchup going against Asterix and Gun Galaxy, where the first map has been taken by Asterix, and we are into the second map where the scoreline again is in favor of Asterix. And it looks like Gun Galaxy needs to step up and really showcase what they have got, and they need to play literally I think the best of the Valorant we have not seen from them to win this and all to win this whole series. I'm saying because on this map also it looks like a struggle, which is their map pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And even on this particular map, we've seen that Gang and Galaxy have really just not been able to do as much. And the one round that we did miss out on, ladies and gentlemen, as we jump on down over into the game, it's 1-6 score line. So Asterix, they're still in their win streak. Is that big of a surprise or not really? Because we kind of knew this was gonna happen, especially when a demonic entity of a team known as Asterix still exists on the server.
True. Looks like from the shadows being committed, and they are coming. Oh my god, everything is short. Knight Rider, he messed up. He should have connected the first one. Mighty is still there, but then Mighty just goes back and forth and gets Caramel and Yash both. Now we are talking. Kibon has used Rolling Thunder, I guess. Mighty, his overdrive is exhausted. His position is expected from main Ryzen. Enola finds Kibon, so the little man surviving is only Ryzen, and 4 man to take down. He takes one, and he takes the rest of the team now. He has Owl Drone, he has one shock dart and reveal coming in 1 minute, or 1 second actually. A lot of util streams to deal. Okay, one more shock dart being used. Nobody playing close. Solo shock dart being used. Can he take down Mighty first? Because Mighty has been the guy. Okay. Enola finds him from behind Mighty, and 62 is the scoreline. Something comes up now, and Gun Galaxy needs to get more than 2 rounds. If not, from here, I think the best possible situation can be a 6-6. But if not 6, I think at least 5 is required, because this is where Sunset can be pretty interesting, because Asterix on the attackers half, they have already done better than what is expected, right? 6 rounds is a winnable score, right? Aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially for them, right? They're not really going to be afraid of any of this. The way that they take their fights, the way that the engagements are always in their favor. Asterix are looking to be the team that should be the premier winners for it. Then again, don't count your chickens before they hatch, because the Rolling Thunder is still available, and Mighty missed out on a free opportunity. He's not going to be able to get that kill, but the players from the opposite side of the map didn't yet to really put a lot of the pressure on. They could have taken mid control here. They could have isolated Caramel just holding onto this mid side, but instead they kind of gave it up. But still, Little Boy falling here early because of the Hunter's Fury has now given them an olive branch they can grasp onto. The fact is, will they be able to pull themselves out of the ditch now is the real question, because one misplayed out kill or one over-aggressive peek, and Asterix can take it back to a 4v4.
Is that true? Oh my god, with that shock dart! Mighty! He got surprised over there, but Knight Rider did manage to take down Yash, so still the numbers is there in their favor. Ganola! Oh my goodness, he needed only 1 tap. He needs to expect from the player on the left. Did not expect that. Caramel, solo man surviving. He gets one. Can he get a second one? Usually this man is superb on his aim game. He gets a second. Can he get a third? He gets a third one as well. He uses the nearest threat. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. This is going to be interesting. Caramel just walks in through his cyber cage and converts the 4th one onto Scar. You beauty, the experience and the aim. The sheer impeccable. He's just ripping things apart right now on the lobby, and Antidote takes a timeout. And well done, Antidote, because the boys just needs to take a breather. Oh.
No. This timeout was taken by Antidote because he thought his team lost here. I'm pretty sure that Antidote is dumbfounded as well, being like, there is no way you guys should have won that round. Caramel, good job, but I think they just threw their game a little bit there. They gave him every single isolated 1v1 under the sun. And come on, you can't make this up. Like, Oro, you cannot say that Asterisk deserved that. Because they didn't. It was a blunder and a half coming in from the members of Gangan Galaxy who got a little bit too excited taking these duels.
Yeah.
But I digress. At least at the end of the day, Antidote's going to give them a stern talking to put all of them back in line. Because don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, in competitive Valorant, you're only allowed one pause per half. So Antidote using this pause here early is just going to give his team a little bit more direction to play for. They've gotten the read though as well that the A side has been looking a little bit weak for the members of Gangan Galaxy. But presence towards the mid side is going to allow Karamo to just play for the information that they need now. Mighty not really giving the position away, has a Bucky in hand to play for the close quarters fight. Risen able to get a pretty strong weapon, pretty strong upgrade for himself, being 1 point away from the Hunter's Fury here. They're gonna need to slow this one down. Mighty taking a bit of chip damage over from the side. This is gonna hurt, but what's the game plan here now for Asterisk? Are they trying to maybe fish out a kill from Caramel's side at the bare minimum onto mid as they make that pressure come through from that end? Mighty doesn't really have much of a good weapon to try and take an aggressive duel. He's looking for the fight and he's gonna be able to do so. Beautiful fault line coming in again. Cabone is just such a good player, man. This guy deserves a Nobel Prize for the way that he sets up Yash for these kind of plays. That fault line was immaculate. The fact that he utilized it in the perfect timing as soon as Yash opted to go in for that dash, and to have that moment-to-moment urgency to understand that, hey, Yash already took that fight against those two players. I just want you to look at this entire phase. Look at how Cabone played it. He waited until Yash went in for the dash and then immediately let that fault line rip through the entire site. So there is no way that even if Yash dies to that player, even if Yash immediately just got taken out by Mighty, someone could have traded him. Stuff like this doesn't happen overnight. Stuff like this only happens when your team has been playing scrims for a while. But Ganola, he's turning things around. Took 2 players out on the mid side. Now this could be the turning point for the members of Gangan Galaxy.
Yeah, with the controller out of the ploy and also the Cypher not there. Now there is a flank coming in. Look at how the Omen and Mighty, Skorang and Mighty, they're coming in for that big flank. The question is they're gonna expect. Who they're gonna expect? With 2 players around the corners. There's one more who's there. Yeah, she needs to check the corner. Knight Rider who's waiting. Knight Rider missed his wall. Oh my god, Knight Rider did manage to recover and they connect onto Ryzen. If the plant is for main, they have planted for main, but will they expect? I don't think so. They're not expecting. But now they manage to see, but Mighty finds Kibon. There's one guy still survives with the overdrive left out. Gorang is waiting, but the half diffuser is there. Gorang did not have to it, though. He had the phantom in his hand. He spammed Yash to death. So the 8-3 scoreline just shows up really quickly. It's going to be the last round before the swap. Is it going to be an 8-4 or a 9-3? We will know. Anyways, the Asterix already has what they wanted, right? But then they want the momentum for the swap. They would want a scoreline of 9-3 and not an 8-4. But the best possible situation for Gangan Galaxy is going to be to convert that 4th round, which is something they need. But they would want that cushioning while they hop on towards that attacker's half. Mighty's position is revealed, of course. Hunter's Fury being committed early on in the round. The question is, will they find something? But through the Hunter's Fury, Knight Rider goes down. The B side is, actually the A side is clear out. Only one man holding out, whose position is revealed, and it's Garang. He has also been cleared out, which means the side is up for grabs.
And don't really worry about it, Oro. Even I get confused calling the A side B side and the B side A side, because that's what it kind of looks like. But for Gangan Galaxy, this looks like a possible loss for them. Smoke's already coming through, one way's being created, and they can't really take this entry from this point anymore. I need to try and figure out on what to do next. The Recon's gonna give them that close quarters fight, but Yash is just ready on that angle. He's already taken that first fight. Ganola's last one remaining with all the players just converging onto his position. 3 denied, and immediately you can tell that the members of Asterisk they're in the much more victorious seat here. And the fights that they're taking, it's not looking good now, is it? Because every engagement being done here is constantly going in the favors of Asterisk because of the way that they generally like to play. The team synergy, the team's overall game plan, they're all in sync with one another. And even on the scorecard, look at Little Boy and Kimon. They're both the devils in disguise. Wait, no, only Little Boy is the devils in disguise. He's got the 666 to his name. While Capone, he's just 2 away from making it happen. They're consistent, every single one of these players in the way that they're playing.
Oh no.
That aggression that they had on the attack side could easily convert here onto the defense as well. Their early play towards that one orb is now going to allow Yash to really snowball out of control if he gets that overdrive on Mind Freeze.
Okay. Of course, there was a trap placed. Now Yash is needed to fall back because they are now running in towards A. That too quickly. It's going to be interesting. The paranoia is ready. Yash is just waiting, but Mighty, he finds Yash. He doesn't have much HP left. Keybound finds one, and he just manages to run away. How is not the trade been taken by Knight Rider and Gorang? The 3-man coming in, but before anything could happen, everyone just falls like night pins. Ginola, the last man standing, but there's a player coming in towards CT. That is Caramel. He finds Ginola, and it's a complete shutdown. 10 rounds coming up for Asterix. So once again, Asterix becomes the first team to latch onto that double-digit marker. And this can be game over really quickly aggressive if... I mean, I need to stop calling it now because I have no option, right? I want to say something in favor of Gun Galaxy, but if they're not giving me anything to say, what will be left? Like, even I am frustrated with this situation. Like, we want to see some good Valorant action coming in, but Gun Galaxy is just struggling right now.
It's just difficult of a situation for anyone to be in. Even in the most difficult of situations, it doesn't mean that it's all but over for them now, is it? Still a chance for them to really fight this one through. Risen, no! He just spots on the gun barrel go wrong. What the hell are you doing? Where are you running? Little Boys finds an instantaneous trade, and the members of Gangan Galaxy, they're looking desperate here, running across the entire map. They're trying to still find a couple of more fights. Knight Rider's positions also revealed. Yash is going to come in with a judge to finish him off, and on this 3-11 scoreline, they're just running over the opposition in a matter of seconds. No matter what they do, no matter what kind of game plan they try to cook up, AST's just one step ahead.
I mean, you know, there's always a problem with half-hearted efforts, right? The last round was something like that, half-hearted. And the way Gorang was stuck, Knight Rider was also stuck in the corner. It looks like once they get stuck, they have nowhere to go. They're not even trying, is what the problem is right now. Okay, the round has started. This is... Oh, Lee Boy finds one. The positioning for Lee Boy. He finds Mighty with that judge. This guy has been pretty amazing, right? And he has been the change, right? Lee Boy, you know, I remember talking to him. He said that in Hindi, he said, "Har ke thak chuka hu, but abhi for a change, we have started winning." So they have lost for a year and a half. Now they've started winning, and once you see that, you know, once you taste the blood, right? You want to taste it every day. It's kind of a situation like that.
Absolutely. And when you're in a situation like this, when your team is this unstoppable, it's difficult for you to make mistakes like this. And Ganola, he just swings in, but he gets one frag, but it's just not going to be enough. 3-12 on the scorecard as AST. They are a wrecking ball of a team. Just sending everything that they can against the members of Gangan Galaxy, and seemingly it could be all but over in a matter of an instant. Their lower bracket run is all but over. Gangan Galaxy, they know there's not really much that they can do here to turn back the clock, to turn this entire game back in their favor. it's just sad to see because as a team, Gangan Galaxy, it's not bad, right? But
Yeah.
it's just difficult up against a team that just scrims every single day and practices constantly.
True. Oh, Asterix have lost Yash in this round. Ryzen, he knows that somebody is there. It's of the one-way dark cover. He couldn't spot. Idea is there. Lee boy tries to find, but now, okay. Scar is gone. Now Ginola is gone as well. Numbers are back in favor, and you just. And as when I was calling it, it looks like Gun Galaxy are almost done. It's map point and game point aggressive with only Mighty and Knight Rider who isn't at its best. And look at him, he is towards that link area. He has no clue whatsoever. The spike is dropped towards Ace, and Caramel is just waiting. And I think Caramel's gonna find it. Caramel, he really misses. It's a rare miss. And this time, Knight Rider managed to punish Caramel. Lee boy. Lil boy is just waiting, but he's looking at the wrong angle. Mighty, oh my goodness. This is just not over yet. But keep on. His position is expected. Ryzen is there. And keep on finishes things up in style. Asterix wins this with the identical scoreline like Lotus. And this is where they move up. And Gun Galaxy bows out of this tournament aggressive.
This is just a sad story and a half now, isn't it, Oro? It's a heartbreak of a loss for the members of Gangan Galaxy. The way that this game panned out for them, you could tell that the team just didn't really have it in them to take this victory up against the greats known as Asters, up against a team that have put in the time and the effort to really work out the maps in a way that we have not seen before. They're up and ready, and they're up in arms, mind you, to go up against the members of SATUL once again on that grand final stage, because they're not going to be able to see them until the very end, ladies and gentlemen, which will be on the 11th of October. Make sure to mark your calendars for that one. But still, there's a bunch more games that they have to play through. This is just one stage of the lower brackets. There's still one more fight that they need to take on tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not exactly sure about that one, but we're going to be finding that one out soon, because these lower bracket runs have really showcased to us that all of these teams, they deserve to be here. But one has to bow out for a very particular reason, and it's going to be the none other than Gangan Galaxy. They've proven to be a squad that have really gone the distance together, just being a group of friends who are really playing. They're all individually extremely talented. Like the players, they're household names, right? Especially people like Mighty, Ganola, Knight Rider, who have just proven that they can be on that tier 1 circuit. But when the team play and synergy comes into play, even these young players on the side of Asterisk, they're just way better because they have that mentor presence to them. They have someone to guide them and push them in that right direction, and they have also put in the effort themselves to be at such a stage, and that's why their performances are so clean. You cannot say that Gangan Galaxy played badly. They just were outclassed in the sense that they couldn't keep up with their opposition and how fast that they were able to adapt during this mid rounds. I think one round alone is going to be able to paint a really good picture for you people back in home, because remember that one round where it was Yash who fell to Scar as he was pushing in through elbow low, and then Gorong was able to survive and just TP himself onto the side. Immediately, the members of Asterisk, they were like, oh, we're not going to be able to enter the side anymore. Let's not go back. We're going to push directly into the mid side. And because everyone was pushing in towards mid, and then Caramel made noise towards the mid corner as well, immediately you saw that Ganola just turned its head around and looked towards mid instead, allowing Kibone to go in for a free kill. And then immediately Knight Rider, thinking that, hey, maybe this is my chance to push out of the smoke because we had that neural theft ready to maybe find a kill. But no, there were two other players waiting for him on the opposite end. Stuff like this does not happen when you don't play the game together constantly on your scrims and really put in those hours. And all of the fruits of their labor are really being showcased in this particular match. But hopefully they haven't shown their entire strat book, because this tournament's going to be long, it's going to be grueling, and you know for a fact that SATUL at the very top, they're still going to be watching not only them, but also GG Easy, and of course the members of Rat Syndicate as well, who are still in the lower bracket, mind you. They did win out on that first initial BO3 that we did have today, ladies and gentlemen. So the next match will, of course, be Rat Syndicate up against the members of Team Asterisk. We have seen this in the other
Yeah.
tournament that we did cast on together, Oro, and we did know that Asterisk, they did take the victory up against Rat Syndicate, but it was a hard-fought one.
Yeah.
It was not easy because the
Easy.
members of Rat Syndicate as a team, they're far more synergistic than any of the other teams that
Hmm.
we've seen in this tournament.
And that is going to be a match, of course, to watch out for, because Rat Syndicate is going to be waiting for that day, which is going to be tomorrow, and they would want that revenge, of course. But then we would have to watch the scoreboard, and it has come in front of our screens right now. There's nothing much to explain. It's only three. For Gunman Galaxy, you can just see how the team was struggling. There's nothing in their favor. There are a lot more deaths than the kills is just counting for, and which is not mentioned here is, I would say, the team composition, right? Knight Rider, I think it has been a while now that he struggles on that agent. They should give it a think that if what's the future for Gunman Galaxy, and do they want to shift things up, because that is something I would want to do. Because okay, for if it would have been like just a month or two, we would have thought a different way. But it has been quite a while now that it has not clicked for this team. So yeah, might change things up. We'll know about that in the future. But one guy whose future looks brighter than ever, right, Aggressive, and that is this man, Yash. Absolutely brilliant, grabbing both the MVPs in both the games. Last map, he was MVP on Raze. This time on the Neon, he again managed to pull this in the kitty. Remember, guys, for the viewers, there is a prize pool for the most valuable player as well. And solo, that man would take home 50,000 Indian rupees among that overall 6,50,000 Indian rupees of prize pool for the India qualifiers, which is given by Acer Predator.
Yeah, there's just like too many different variables that you have to consider too, ladies and gentlemen. There's too many different points where the players and of course the teams are just not really able to perform to their best. But hopefully Gangan Galaxy, they don't disband out and they still will come on back stronger, as there will be a lot more Valorant action to be had. Because back at home, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and also hit that notification bell down below, because here at the Esports Club, the Valorant action and of course esports action just never stops, because we still have a lot more tournaments in line for these teams and also for you guys back at home. And hey, if you are gonna be the ones to play for all of that, make sure to check out all the links for the side of Acer Predator as well, ladies and gentlemen, to get yourself that gaming laptop and get grinding, because Valorant is one of those games that if you don't have the best of gears, you're not gonna be able to perform. But thank you all for stopping on by for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We had two amazing games for you lined up, and tomorrow we're gonna have even more amazing matchups. That is for certain. But for tonight, it's gonna be your boy Aggressive with Oro signing on off. And thank you all for stopping on by for the Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers. Good night and happy gaming, everyone. We'll catch you tomorrow.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast street, cool moves, step a pick, we groove, web slid, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes like those big friends laughing, we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Sleek with Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Swift Neo,
You feel me?
lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work out play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it bleed, let it grow. Turn it with every tap and glow. Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
On the edge, vibes up, you feel me? Swift Neo.
the all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite, with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia.